Hello YouTube, it's your boy B3 back with another Kicking B3 Reads. Yeah, I'm cracking down hard on the B3 Reads. I love making B3 Reads so much. So today we're taking a break from Godzilla stuff and kind of dinosaur stuff to do more fan fiction. But this time we're going to look at Bigfoot fan fiction, specifically romantic Bigfoot fan fiction. I joined Wattpad specifically so I could read these. This first one's just called Bigfoot Smut. And chapter 1 is called Bigfoot Lover. Even though there only seems to be one chapter, I still bothered to name it chapter 1. So, here we go. Eli was walking through the woods, getting away from it all. He glanced down, staring at his skinny jeans and Nike sneakers, thinking to himself, "My life is so boring." So already it's like a scene kid. He sat up against a tree that fallen down the previous summer and stuck his hand in his pockets. Bad sentence. He laid there thinking about how close he had cake at scoring with this girl until it turned out she was a boy. Also a weird sentence. Within his thoughts, he fell asleep against the tree. Eli woke up to a huge pressure against his crotch. As he awoke, he came face to face with the one and only Bigfoot. "Oh, Jesus," Eli stuttered as he looked at the big beast. The beast lowered itself down beside the tree with Eli. It poked at his shirt and grunted. Eli glanced up, blushing, as he saw the beast was excited by his presence. "You want me to take my shirt off?" Eli said, tapping his shirt. Bigfoot grabbed at his large... Oh, no. No. Bigfoot's spanking it. Bigfoot's spanking it. And he's grunting and shaking his head. Eli, with a raging boner, unbuttoned his shirt and slid it off. "You liked that?" Eli said, starting to feel at his throbbing cock. Bigfoot grunted and started licking his nips in return, dry humping nothing but air. Eli unbuttoned his jeans and slid them down. "Here you go, boy." Bigfoot whined and stawed. Bigfoot's blowing him. And Eli ejacks right away. And now Bigfoot's shoving his penis in Eli's mouth. Oh, now Bigfoot's doing him doggy style. Oh my god. Bigfoot comes, and then it says they both laid against the tree in exhaustion and cuddled all night. So the title was right. This was smut. This has 104 views, a favorite, and a comment. Wow. You know what? I'm honestly curious as to what the comment says. Rachel Reads 22 says, "Quality smut right there." Well, it took like 2 minutes to read, so not that much quality. Also, sentences and spelling and capitalization and punctuation are bad, but you know, that's how it be, apparently. And that story was by Haley Kalido 18. I feel like I have to mention the author. Like, I ain't no jerk. I'm going to mention the author. Here's another one with 37 views, 2 votes, and 0 comments. But I need to be better, probably. Probably do need to be better. Especially if you're writing a story called I Was Stolen by Bigfoot. Oh, geez. Here we go. "Help! Lord, somebody needs to put out an APB, SOS, SOB. Hell, I'll even take FEMA. But I need somebody to know that I have been stolen by Bigfoot. I found this old CB radio in this cave I'm living in." Weird that there's a radio in Bigfoot's cave. "So I'm hoping anyone can hear me. Don't think I'm some crazy old woman out in the woods. You've got to believe me, it's true. Boy, I bet not even my husband Earl would believe me." Earl is such a name for someone to have in a Bigfoot story. You know what I mean? "Will much less pay attention to me. 'Cause let's be honest, he hasn't peeked at my gorgeous gams in quite a while." Jesus Christ, she's thinking about that right now? You see, Earl was, well, it's a gambling man in his poison of choice. The jockey races. First time I met him was down there. Now Earl ain't much of man to look at, or any at all for that matter. Weasel-looking kind of man, with a right ugly-looking lazy eye, with his head hair, or lack thereof, that looked like you could land a jumbo jet plane on. This is a weird story already. And you might be saying to yourself, how could a stone-cold Betty like Trudy end up with a lump of a man like Earl? I'm not asking myself that because we've gotten no description of you, your personality, your looks, nothing. Well, sure enough, I saw that fat, cheesy stack of cash sitting out his pocket from the winnings at the Daily Double. Well, I sure enough did swoon like a ton of brick, and that ugly lump turned into Mr. Universe right before my very eyes. So you're not a good person either, then. God damn it. Now I'm getting off track. You know Earl used to do that all the time, telling tall tales to the boys down at the track, just so he can get someone to listen. Always rambling about some trailer he once lived as a boy with some other queer boy that floated down some river for 35 miles. This is dumb and bad. Nobody did believe him, not a one. I sure enough wasn't gonna believe him. Maybe if he stopped wasting all his money down at the tracks and came home in a timely manner, maybe I'd be more inclined to believe him. But no, the track was more important to him. You know, I believe it was his fault I got taken. I used to always tell him, Earl, one of these days I'm not gonna be here when you get home. Now look where I am, stuck in some dank, sweaty cave with my collie Buster. Is there a dog there? This is dumb and bad. Did you know that Bigfoot could drive too? I was just doing my gardening like I usually do with my favorite cut-off Levi's and this itsy-bitsy teeny-weeny yellow polka dot bikini. God damn it, who wrote this? Top that he liked so much in order to ignite a little fire in him, but of course Earl was none the wiser, going about checking the jockey roster and off to the races. So I went about watering my petunias, and just as I was pulling a particularly stubborn weed, I felt some sort of paw settle right on my plump rump and smelt the stench of hot, sweaty moss. I turned around, and this heavily-haired behemoth stood before me. I could have jumped right out of my skin. I was so frightened, and his heavy paw was still glued to my bottom. He spoke in a harsh, graveling tone, telling to get everything I thought important. Now I know what you're going to say. Couldn't I have said no? Well, I like to see you say the word no to Bigfoot. Bigfoot can also talk. This is weird. Now I moved like the wind. I was not one to Mr. Bigfoot waiting long. I'm sorry. People just need to learn sentence structure. Like elementary school shit. I don't know. So I stuffed about half of my clothes in my little getaway suitcase that I used on my honeymoon about 2 months ago. She's only been married to him for 2 months? Let me tell you, that honeymoon was nothing to write home about. I feel like there should have been all this stuff about her relationship problems before the Bigfoot story started, and then all the Bigfoot stuff happened after it, because it's just going back and forth, and it doesn't flow well. Anyways, let me tell you, that honeymoon was nothing to write home about, blah, blah, blah. What that yellow spineless man thought was romance was a 6-pack of lukewarm beer and a pair of broken down folding chairs down by the creek. Honestly, where I live, that actually would pass as romantic in my hick town. You'd think having a stone-cold fox on your arm would encourage you to pull out all the stops, but not my dear darling Earl. Mama always said I knew how to pick 'em. She keeps talking about herself like she's something grand, like she's the hottest thing around, like she's this huge fucking catch. But she already admitted to being a gold digger, for one thing, and she has still refused to give us a description of herself. She's just like, take my word for it, I'm a hottie with big old tibblies. Anyways, Enough about Earl. Just as I was leaving the bedroom, I'd seen that Bigfoot has ransacked the place. My can of Dr. Pepper split everywhere, and the refrigerator left wide open and picked clean. Now, I was never one for cleaning. I'm a young, vibrant, extremely attractive woman. What would I be looking like cleaning and scrubbing on my hands and knees like some dowdy housewife? She's not about doing manual labor. By the way, both people in a relationship, when they live together, both of them should be doing housework. I mean, and here's another thing. She was just doing manual labor. She was just tending the garden. That's manual labor. And it's just like, she's a bitch. It would mess up my natural complexion. I expect that Bigfoot would be a very hungry man, so I wasn't too surprised by the barren fridge. In one sentence, she used two tenses, past and present. How is someone so dumb? Guess Earl, not capitalized, will have something else to spend his money on other than tracks, because he certainly didn't spend it on me. She just said enough about Earl, and now she's back to doing that. All this Earl stuff should have been in the beginning, and then the Bigfoot stuff. Like it should have led up to it, not going back and forth. Bigfoot then snatched up my dog, Buster, who took no mind to this new person entering his life, crammed into the Toyota and sped off into the night. To be honest, I think Buster has grown rather fond of the hairy monstrosity taking care of us. Actually, I don't think Buster cared at all for Earl. A big hint could have been that Earl always came away with a deep gash to the hand whenever he tried to pet Buster. Yeah, that might have been a hint. You know, dogs sense things in people. Well, he doesn't sense anything in you, you dumb bitch. Anyway, Bigfoot drove us deep into the dense woods and brought us to his cave. When I think about it, it's been pretty nice. I mean, we are always fed. Bigfoot is an expert fisherman, and that sushi stuff is pretty good. By the way, she's not eating sushi. She's just eating straight up raw fish Bigfoot brings home. They're not cooking anything. I mean, ate never a raw fish, but not bad. What? What does that sentence mean? Buster loves him, always following him when he goes out to fish. Bigfoot even showed me the most beautiful valley of lilies and said this would be my new garden. He comes home every night, and let me tell you, he is amazing in bed. You'd think the hair would be a problem, but it's only made it better. You know what? Call off the Amber Alerts or whatever you call them. I think I'll stay here. I think I'm finally happy here. And Earl, if you ever hear this, I want a divorce. Do you really super need a divorce? Oh, I'm looking at the person's. It's showing me the read-up of the author at the end of the story, and when they made this account, they were my age. They could easily be older than me. 24. This is sad. I could tell it was written by someone a little older than the average middle school fan fiction writer, but Jesus. Come on, gal. You can do better than this. You're in your 20s. Her stories look weird. I'm on her account right now. Weird. Oh, they're from New Jersey. Never mind, that explains everything. Well, that's it. 2 extremely short Bigfoot fan fictions found on Wattpad. I did mention the authors. I ain't no dick. I'll always give the authors props, even if I hated the story. They were both very weird stories. I guess I was stolen by Bigfoot. I mean, didn't we just recently elect a politician that writes Bigfoot erotica? I mean, obviously there's a market for it. And then there was the gay one. I ain't got no problem with the gay life. But, I feel like Uh, that was some weird fantasy like this scene kid had. I don't know. Everything about Bigfoot erotica is weird. I've also read some dinosaur erotica if you're interested in that. Well, that's it for today's B3 Reads Bigfoot fan fiction, or whatever I call it in the title when I edit it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, etc. If you want to be notified when the next B3 Reads hits, be sure to hit that notification bell. Yeah, definitely hit that notification bell because I'm going to be pumping out these B3 Reads. I love making B3 Reads. It might be my new favorite series to make. I do have more fan fictions to read. Just on Wattpad alone, I have a 50 Shades of Grey parody. This one's intentionally a comedy. So I'm really looking forward to that one. It has multiple chapters. And then there are 2 separate Godzilla fan fictions that look very weird. And I cannot wait to read them. So that's it. Thank you all once again for your support. Support us on Patreon because there are also books we've bought as well. And we intend to buy more actual published work. So that's it. Thank you all once again for your support, and I'll see you all later.